What's up? What's up? What's up, friends? This video might be a little controversial, but if you know me by now, you should know I do not care. We do not care. Guys, you read the title right. There was no typo. Stop asking for advice. Stop it. Stop it. Just stop. Just stop. The reason that I'm telling you guys to stop asking for advice is I don't mean in life. Like, always be open to learning, always be open to hearing perspectives. But when I say stop asking for advice, guys, you know deep down when you really want to do something and you know it's a good idea. You know it'll be good for you. You know it'll add value to your life, add value to the people around you. Stop asking small-minded people for advice, guys. Stop asking people. It's like, bro, look, if you know something is right, just do it. Just take action. Because at the end of the day, only you can make you happy. My dad told me this quote, and I live by this. You are the only person that knows what genuinely makes you happy. So do what makes you happy. A lot of people live life trying to make other people happy. A lot of people, they ask for advice because either A, they want confirmation that they shouldn't do something because they're too lazy to do it, or they want somebody else's approval. You don't need anybody else's approval on the stuff that you're trying to do. You don't need it. You do not need anybody's approval. Only thing you need is yourself. You don't need other people to support you to get where you are. You just need God or the universe, whatever you believe in, and yourself. And I look back over my life so many times, and you know, I asked for advice a lot because I knew I had a good idea. I just wanted confirmation. I just didn't want to feel like I was alone in doing it. And that's a lack of self love, guys. You have to trust yourself, you have to trust your intuition. If you can't trust your intuition, then you don't love yourself. You don't have a deep enough connection with yourself. Because a lot of the times we'll go to the wrong people for advice and they'll give us terrible advice. Like, I'll give a prime example, right? Um, me, I want to be an entrepreneur. I am an entrepreneur, right? I'm a YouTuber. And I used to go to my parents and ask them for advice on me being an entrepreneur. Why the hell am I asking them for advice on me being an entrepreneur when they work jobs? Like, and listen, I'm not saying that I'm smarter than my parents. I'm not saying that I'm above my parents because my parents, they have more life experience than me. So they know more about life than me. But I know more about being an entrepreneur than they do because they haven't done any groundwork. They haven't read any books. They don't have a desire to be an entrepreneur. So why would you ask somebody who's not where you want to be and not doing what you want to do for advice? Like, we often go to friends, we often go to family members, and a lot of times family members and friends, they can give us terrible advice because they don't know what they're doing. That's like going to Foot Locker for dentist products or groceries. That's like going to Foot Locker expecting groceries. Why are you going to one place looking for a whole totally different thing, guys? You should really be asking yourself, what do you think you should do instead of asking people who don't know, guys? You can do research, you can read books. You should start taking the time to do some introspective work, like where you're thinking to yourself. Spend time in your room alone, just staring at the wall, just running through your thoughts. That is more helpful than asking people who don't know what the hell they're doing for advice. Because I think about a lot of the advice that I've been given, especially the, oh, that's unrealistic advice. I think about that and I got mad at the people for saying it at the time. I'm just like, oh, they're just hating, they're just projecting insecurity, which they were. But that's my fault for asking them. That is my fault completely. Like, think about something you really wanted to do and you let somebody talk you out of doing it. Think about where that person is now and think about where you are now. I guarantee neither one of y'all are happy. I'm just tell the truth, bro. And a lot of time we can have resentment for that because I think about how people say, "Oh man, I was trying to impress my parents. That's why I did this." And they be on their deathbed. They're like, "Man, I should have did what I really wanted to do." It's too late now, bro. You out of time, baby. It's too late now. But guess what? If you're still alive, it's not too late. You still have the choice to live life the way you want to live it. But stop asking small-minded people for advice. Stop asking people who aren't where you want to be for advice, guys. You have to believe in yourself. I'm done asking for advice. If you're not a YouTuber making self-help content and you're ahead of where I'm at, I ain't got no advice to ask you. And I'm not saying I have things figured out because guess what? I'm going to try things and everything isn't going to go my way. I'm going to have some failures in my journey, but I'm going to get up and I'm going to keep trying until I have what I want. And that's just how you have to look at life, guys. Like I said, it's not about not hearing people. Like, let's say somebody wants to give you some advice. I listen to all advice, or I hear it. That don't mean I'm gonna listen to it, but I hear people out because you can learn something. You can learn something from a 5 year old, because like different people have different perspectives at different places in life. So I'll hear you out, and that is definitely something that everybody should do. I definitely think you should be open to receiving advice from a rich guy, from a homeless guy, from anybody from any walk of life, because you can learn something new. You can learn a new truth every day. That's a good thing about level 3 thinkers. I was learning about how there are complexity levels of thinking, and level 1 are people who basically believe what they believe because of their environment, whatever their parents taught them. Then there's level 2 people who they have their own beliefs, but they kind of have like a limit. It's like if your belief goes against theirs, they're not willing to learn. Like, let's say me, right? I'm not homeless. So that would be like me being open minded to people. But if a homeless man came up to me, I'm like, well, I'm not going to take advice from a homeless guy because that doesn't line up with my truth. No, be a level 3 thinker, guys. Be like, I can hear anything anybody has to say. And if it teaches me or giving me a new perspective, I'm going to think about it and I'm going to take that under consideration. Like, don't have a set truth. Just know that, you know, you may know something to be true, but that may not be the complete story either. Just be willing to listen. But as far as asking for advice on something that you know is going to make your life better, bro, cut that out. Stop looking for validation. Stop looking for a reason to be fearful. Like, just do it, guys. Just do it. That's the greatest thing you could do. I was watching a video about James Bond, and they were talking about how in movies, James Bond would always like get told not to do something, and he would smile and say, oh, okay. And then he'll go and do it anyway. And guess what? It always ended up working out. And is James Bond a movie? Yes, I know it's a movie. But guess what, guys? There's some truth in a lot of these movies and TV shows that we see. And we just miss it. The directors, they intentionally put it there. Sometimes they unintentionally put it there. And we miss the message. So, guys, do what it is that makes you happy. Life is too short to live for somebody else. Life is too short to live by another man's words. Live your story. Like I said in my other video, be the main character of your life. Stop being afraid to go after it because you know you want it. You know it's the smart thing to do. You know it's the right thing to do. So just go do it. And like I said, I'm not telling you to be ignorant. I'm not telling you not to hear people out. I'm just telling you, we know something is right for you. Only you can see that vision. You were only given that vision. Like, for example, my brother, me and him we had a deep talk about this the other day. He was telling me how he used to want me to go to college and do X, Y, and Z, but he had to understand that the vision that I have for myself isn't the same vision that he had for me because he's not me. And that's crazy that a kid at 15 years old can resonate with something that deep, and there's adults out here that can't. You have to understand that everybody isn't going to share the same vision as you. So people will be quick to tell you that's unrealistic. You shouldn't do that. But if it was unrealistic, you wouldn't have thought of it. It couldn't have been done. So just think about that. I love you guys, and I will see y'all